up, YouTube family? Thank you guys for tuning back into Wilburn Reactions. My name is Chod. Today, I wanted to drop, this is not an update video. I just checked on you guys, but if you want to get checked on again, we can. There's nothing wrong with that. But all seriousness, I wanted to talk about this. I thought this would be a fun topic to bring up on this channel, and I was thinking about maybe continuing with doing stuff like this, like having discussions with you guys. But I was thinking to myself, so as I was brought up, you know, in music, and I told you guys about that, you know, my dad being a keyboard player, for you guys who are new to this channel, played over 30, he's been playing, still playing over 30 years plus, and then me being a drummer, you know, brought up in jazz and, you know, R&B, you know, Motown, definitely. My dad was a big fan. Church, of course, is another one of my backgrounds, and then of course the music that I explore too. But the big question I have that I want to talk about on this channel, do you guys think, and I know it's not going to apply to everyone, but do you think it's a big portion of the world that, you know, music plays a role, like culturally, like you only get that exposure to what you're like in your household or who you were with, you know, and that's what I mean. Do you think it puts a hold on, you know, a lot of like growing out to like trying to experience new music, you know, experience a different category? Like, let's just say years and years, you know, let's just say I grew up on hip hop, you know, let's just say that's the only genre I had. And then as I'm getting older, maybe my teenage years, you know, I start getting exposure to other music, but then I'm just like, no, this is only my style, you know? So do you guys feel like, let's say if you were just raised on country and you know, and you're not raised on anything else, or you're raised on rock and roll, you're not raised on anything else, and maybe you just don't like other styles of music, but do you think that plays a big part, like culturally, like only certain styles of music goes to a certain demographic? Like, and I was thinking about that, and the reason why it came to my head, because I was like, you know, I have some buddies of mine, and I have people who call me like, oh yeah, I couldn't listen to that, or I couldn't listen to rock and roll, or they talk about my channel, or you know, they say like, oh, I couldn't listen to this style, you know, or country, you know. It's just, do you think that plays a big part, because it's just, you know, you were brought up on one style, so you're just stuck and used to it, you know, the basics of that, so you never really want to venture out and try other music? See, the thing is with me, I got lucky, you know, I got different exposure to different types of music early, and then, you know, I lived in a neighborhood where it was, you know, diverse, and I went to school that was very diverse, so that's when, you know, other music, and then of course being a band, I had exposure to all types of different stuff too, you know, so I kind of had a feel and a taste for different things. I kind of was a little stubborn, you know, to step out a little bit, but as I got in high school, I did venture out a little bit more and expose myself, but I kind of had a taste, and, you know, a taste of it, so it was a little bit easier for me to ease into different other types. But I think that really does, I mean, me personally, I think that plays a huge part. I really think, you know, some people just are afraid, and they're brought up on one style, or, you know, they only want to listen to one style, so when they are introduced to another style, it's more or less like, nah, I don't like it. But do you really not like it, or do you think people are afraid, you know, oh, I can't be caught listening to this, you know? So it was just all these different things that I thought in my head about music, and I was like, man, this would be fun to talk about on this channel. And I think that plays a part too, because I don't know why people would feel like, oh, if I listen to this, or I've seen listening to this, why would you feel embarrassed? You know, it's music. Music is all different types of expressions and arts, you know, and I feel like you should be comfortable playing whatever you feel you're comfortable playing or listening to. But I really do think that's really a huge part, because, you know, I've had discussions with people, you know, people who listen to only hip hop or listen to only country or whatever genre it is, and I was curious, and I want to know, you know, I'm like, okay, what's your take on that? Like, why do you feel like you only like this style? Well, I don't like the other stuff because, you know, and I feel like if you can give me a legitimate reason why you don't like something else, you know, then that's cool. But if you just saying like, oh, this is my style, this is what I grew up on, like, that's, I mean, that's not, I feel like you're not trying to even attempt to see what else is out there. And it's so much great music, and I've learned that from this channel. Like, there's so much great music out there in the world that we are not exposed to, or maybe not get exposure. Like, there's so much great music that I've been exposed to on this channel that I might not ever known about in my life if I didn't, like, I wouldn't have woke up in the morning on my own and said, let me just go research music and look for different styles, you know. I feel like that's the benefit of reactions, you know, and doing this reaction side of music, because it's the exposure on my part of getting introduced to new music, and, you know, music that maybe didn't make it so popular, bands who didn't make it so popular, who were great, you know, artists who didn't make it so popular, but they were great, they had great hits, you know, maybe music that music, of course, that I've never heard, music that was sampled from other, you know, I've learned so much on this channel. And I think if people got more exposure to different styles of music, it really does advance them and elevate them to a different level. Like, you should. I feel like you should. And I know this journey myself, I speak for a lot of people. Like, if you feel like you're stuck in one category, you should get out of it and try to listen to other genres, because there is a lot of different styles and beautiful music to understand. And I feel like, too, my thing that I learned also is that, you know, we have all these genres of different music and everybody's expressing themselves in different ways. And I feel like some music, there is some music out there that is just disgusting or some people don't want to listen to. But I feel like some music in different genres, you got to give them a chance because they're expressing, you know, some people are expressing how they were brought up, where they came from, you know, their living or stuff they're battling today. So I think it's just a different exposure to different things in different cultures. You know, like me, when I listen to country and hear, you know, how somebody was raised in, you know, farmland and or anything like that, you know, it's just different. You know, it's a different style of living to how I was brought up, or, you know, these rock and roll guys, how they were brought up in a different style that I was brought up in. And it's cool to see that exposure and how they benefited from music and how they changed and turned out, you know, from their style. So it's just different things I think about. So I'm rambling. I know you guys felt like, what the heck? But what do you guys think? Do you think music that plays a huge part? Like, my big question is, do you think music sometimes become culturally biased? Like, some people just keep their bubble, like, oh, I'm only gonna listen to hip hop, or you're only gonna listen to country, I'm gonna listen to rock and roll, I'm not gonna listen to. Do you think it's based on cultural, or do you feel like, oh, I just don't like this other style? Like, it's a big, I feel like at this question, I feel like this is a good exercise to talk about this. I want to see different opinions on that and what you guys feel, especially if you were brought up on different styles. Like me, I was brought up on jazz, I told you guys, and old school Motown, old school hip hop, Run DMC, stuff like that. But, you know, let's just say I would have stayed in my bubble and not, oh, rock and roll is not me, or country is not me. You know, do you think it becomes a cultural thing? Like, I just don't want to step out of that. I like this style. So let me know what you guys think. I'm curious about these opinions, like what you guys are going to say about this. But thank you guys so much for everything. Once again, I'm so excited and deeply pleased and smiling from ear to ear that you guys, we have almost reached the goal of 40,000. Our goal is to try to reach 100,000 this year, to hang that beautiful plaque. But I'm super humbled and blessed, you know, to believe that you guys have got me to 40,000 subscribers, and I have 40,000 beautiful YouTube family members out there. It's an amazing experience. I was just talking to my wife yesterday about it, and was excited to know that this journey is just growing and being succeeding in the way we wanted it to. You know, we had some bumps where I talked about, you know, going in other directions and doing stuff, and I take a big a risk and a route of jumping all over the place with different music, but that's just the whole part of this journey, you know. Travel and experience it all. You know, it's like traveling the world. I want to see all different types of music and experience it all and see what I really like and what's out there. But I really do thank you guys for that. I hope all is well with everyone and everyone's doing great in health, wealth, and mental. Hope all you guys are doing great, and I will see you guys, blessings, and I will see you guys in my very next video.